It's the Wendy Williams Show. Now, here's Wendy.
Thank you for watching. Say hello to my co-host, my studio audience. Oh boy. I'm doing okay today. Let's get started. It's time for... Thank you, I appreciate you. Whitney Houston's family is furious with Kanye West, as well they should be. Okay, Kanye produced Pusha T's new album, it's called Daytona. Now, Pusha T is a part of an old group called The Clips from back in the day. This is hip hop deep. This is back when I was on the radio. Good morning, Pusha T. Did you ever think you'd intersect and be on Hot Topics? You know what I mean? Anyway, so Kanye personally paid $85,000 for Pusha T's album cover to be the tabloid picture of Whitney Houston's drug den. Yes, where you see aluminum foil, Newport boxes, all kind of white residue, all kind of stuff. This was the drug den at Whitney's mansion. So the Houston family is reportedly livid and disgusted with Kanye West. Kanye paid $85,000 for the picture. Now you ask, where'd he get the picture? Bobby Brown's sister, Tina. I don't know much about Tina other than she's got an older son who she and her grown son fought over Bobby Christina's body, allegedly, when Bobby Christina was in the hospital, say. And then Tina pulled out a bottle and hit her son in the head with the bottle. And then Tina spit on him, allegedly. Yeah, and this is all happening in the hospital room, allegedly. So it was Tina who took the picture of the drug den. Tina had this picture. This was Tina's picture. Kanye wanted to do something provocative for his artist who's on good music, and that would be Pusha T. If you're wondering why it is that Kanye had a say-so in what Pusha T's album cover is about. And Pusha's like, no. And Kanye's like, oh, yes. You know, I'm the boss. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. So the drug den has nothing to do with the quality 7 songs on Pusha T's new CD, if you get a chance to hear it. It's very good, Pusha. Anyway, Pusha T did not need Kanye's influence on this particular project. I think that this is in really poor taste, Kanye, and it's clear that you've lost it a long time ago. But at what particular point do you have no boundaries? My God, man. Imagine if somebody put a picture of Kanye's mother, you know, going into some sort of cardiac arrest prior to meeting her untimely passing of, you know, elective plastic surgery, the lovely Kanye West. You wouldn't want that, Kanye. It's like disgusting. And Pusha T just got caught up in the middle of it. I don't even know what the font is. Is there writing on the cover?
No.
Just the drug den?
Just the drug den.
And what the hell kind of message is this supposed to be sending, Kanye? And what does this have to do with Pusha T? You know what? Snoop Dogg might be right. Now, I gotta tell you something. He was on The View on Friday. And just take a look at what he said.
He truly misses his mother. He truly misses a black woman in his life. He truly misses the stability of having somebody telling him when he's wrong and correcting him and checking him, as opposed to allowing him to continue to do what he's doing.
All right. Now, I'm not gonna make this a black or white thing, but all I'm gonna say is, you know what? This is probably the time where he could use a black woman in his life, because there's no black wife who would have let the iconic Whitney Houston, who happens to be of black woman descent in the whole icon thing, but there is no way a black wife would have let her husband purchase that picture. Kim, you were off taking selfies, I know, and maybe not understanding the ramifications of something like that. I mean, Kanye is an icon, a living icon, but he's an icon, and Whitney's an icon. Just icon to icon, do you know what I mean? You have to have some allegiance someplace. Just kind of, sort of. You know? That's in, like, real poor taste. I know I'm alleged to be ruthless and moody at times. But even terrible. Anyway, in other Kanye news, Kim got into a nasty fight with his longtime partner. Now, the longtime partner is his partner in what was the Donda West Foundation. I don't know whether the Donda West Foundation will exist after today's Hot Topics, because overnight we learned that it's now not called the Donda West Foundation, so I don't know. This man's name right down here, his name is Rhymefest, and he's from Chicago. And he and Kanye have known each other for many, many years. He wrote Jesus Walks. Right, so he produces, he writes, I don't know whether he raps, but he was helping Kanye in building this thing, which has become really successful for them, the Donda House charity. And they do a lot of nice things for young people and so on and so forth. But Rhymefest has had to put Kanye on blast, demanding that Kanye cop to. He's abandoned the Donda House charity. He's abandoned it, according to Rhymefest. In one tweet, he claims that Kanye said, "F the youth of Chicago." Well, this is the same man who buys a drug den, so at this particular point, you can believe almost anything. And then again, maybe nothing. Kim defended him. She jumped in the middle of it and went on several Twitter rants with Rhymefest. In one of them, she says, you have the audacity to use Kanye's mom's name to try to shed a negative light on Kanye. You better believe I will make it my mission to take Donda House from you and let my children run it the way it should be run. And then she goes on to say, I will always ride for my man. Well, that's a lot of tough talk. That would be nice if you all took it over then, Kim. But now, because you put it out there, I would expect that that's what you're gonna do. You're gonna take it over, you and the children, and run Donda House the way you see it fit to be run. She's said that none of her followers even know who Rhymefest is. She goes into a mean girl, cheerleader, popular girl mode, They don't even know who you are, Rhymefest. They don't even know you. Rhymefest responded to Kim by posting an open letter on Twitter saying, I don't care if one of your timeline or no one on your timeline knows who I am. If you and Kanye want to dissolve the organization so you can do the work, we welcome that. So, after a few back and forths, Donda House said that they were trying to change their name to encourage, they were also encouraging Kim and Kanye to take the baton. Go ahead, run with it. Let's see what you do. Good one, Rhymefest. That's a good one. And I'm not surprised that Kim jumped in. Sometimes a woman's got to defend her man, and I don't think she said anything so wrong, just because she doesn't know who Rhymefest is or whatever. But now you're gonna have to take over the charity. Kim, you know what I would do? I'd pack up those kids and run. Run. Did you all barbecue this weekend? Were you all into it? I smelled no barbecue anywhere the entire weekend. Like, even driving through other people's neighborhoods and stuff. You can smell it. I smelled nothing. I went to White Castle twice this weekend. In the wee hours of the morning when the food is the best. They have this Impossible Burger. Have you ever had that? Yeah. Honey, child. So let's talk about Morgan Freeman. So Morgan Freeman, right, he's under investigation. Have you heard about this? Are you still a little confused about it? Yeah, well, under investigation for sexual harassment and inappropriate behavior, that he seems to think in his old fossil brain that this is like normal behavior and how people are supposed to act, and he's 80 years old. And I say 80 just because 80 is, Daddy, you wouldn't do that. My father is 86, do you know what I'm saying? My friend Reg's father is 89. Like, we know guys in your age group, Morgan. Although they don't have double piercings. Anyway, look, 16 women have come forward to CNN. 8 alleged victims and 8 witnesses. And one of them happens to be a longtime friend to the show, one of our inside scoopers, Chloe Milos. Yup, she's one of the accusers, and she also co-wrote the investigation. Yeah. Well, Chloe claims that when she was 6 months pregnant, Morgan looked her up and down and then said, I wish I was there. And added, you ripe. One production assistant claims that Morgan would try to lift up her skirt and always ask her if she's wearing underwear. And then somebody who's here at Wendy, whose name I won't mention, but I love the story. You are my witness, right?
I heard it.
She said I could tell the story.
Yep.
Just don't say the name.
Uh-huh.
All right. Well, so Morgan was in a doorway one time, and she was leaving to go to get a coffee or something. And he looks her up and down, like the look, up and down, up and down. And then she tries to get by, but he's up and down, up and down. So then she takes a picture with him. I'm like, why'd you take a picture? You know what I'm saying? Then why'd you take the picture? She's like, because it's Morgan Freeman. It's, it's Easy Reader. It's Shawshank Redemption. Of course I'm gonna take the picture. After the picture, he gives her a full body hug. Listen. Then takes his hands and rubs them all up and down the front of her body. Both hands, all up and down. Yeah. And she's voluptuous, so it was a good feel. Oh, that certainly would be different than hugging Kelly Ripa.
Right, exactly.
A shout out to Kelly Ripa,
exactly.
But there's a difference. Anyway, Entertainment Tonight, you all, dug up and released some old interviews. Morgan Freeman is just, he doesn't belong in jail, but he does, at the very least, need to be exposed. And all 16 of these, and all 16 of these women, and who knows, maybe by the end of the day there'll be 20, I don't know. Right now, 16 women, they're all powwowing right now to compare and contrast stories. And then they're gonna give us a formal statement as to what they're doing, whether they're suing for money or what. He's doing a movie right now with John Travolta, so he's still working as we're speaking. He's on the set right now with John Travolta. Well, E.T. dug up and released old interviews of Morgan making inappropriate comments while on a film junket. It's like he doesn't even realize the camera is, we hear you. Take a look.
You married?
No.
Fool around with older guys? I'm just asking. Now, how you all manage to do that all the time?
All of this?
No, you got a dress that's halfway between your knee and your hip. And you sit down right across from me.
It's just wrong. So now he tries to issue a statement. Actually, he issued 2, but I only have a piece of 1. I apologize to anyone who felt uncomfortable or disrespected. That was never my intent. I admit that I'm someone who feels a need to make women and men feel appreciated and at ease around me. As a part of that, I would often try to joke with and compliment women. Clearly, it was not always coming across the way I intended, but I also want to be clear, I did not assault women. Did he squeeze? I forgot that part. Did he
She said he was very, very handsy.
Uh-huh.
But no, he did not squeeze.
Anyway. So, a few minutes ago, according to my Hot Topics Bureau, they're passing this to me right now. A few minutes ago, everybody, Morgan Freeman's lawyer issued a statement demanding CNN apologize and retract the story, which was used to unjustly attack him. I don't think it was used to unjustly attack him. I think it's a story that's been worked on for a long time. I mean, I know Chloe Milos behind the scenes because, you know, she's been a friend of the show since our show was invented 10 years ago. You know? We knew her when she was single. Now she's married. She's pregnant with the baby. And she's the one, when that happened to her, she felt violated and disgusted. And she did complain, but nothing ever happened of it. But she did complain where she was working. So she's the one who said, well, if this happened to me and I'm 6 months pregnant, I wonder how many times he's done this before. And so that's when she opened up a full-blown investigation behind the scenes. It might have taken her like a year or two to pull all this together and these people. But yeah, Chloe is behind this. And Visa has now suspended their marketing campaign with Morgan Freeman. Well, he's the voice of a lot of stuff. I mean, virtually the voice of everything. As a matter of fact, without his voice, I think we would not have James Earl Jones. And every once in a while I hear Demi Moore does a good voice. She does a good voice. I don't think that this should destroy his career like Harvey Weinstein's, because Harvey Weinstein is a whole different category than Morgan Freeman is just a dirty old man. Just a dirty old man who had inappropriate romantic relationships with his granddaughter, who since passed away. Who since passed away. Allegedly what? She's passed away.
I think they both denied that they were romantical.
Listen, Father's Day is coming up. And a lot of families get together on Father's Day. We honor the men in our families. You know, if you see something, say something. Like, protect the men in your family. Let them understand there's certain things that just don't fly anymore. They can't be like that. Mariah Carey, congratulations to her. She finally did something that I thought she should have done a long time ago, which is she sold that 35-carat engagement ring from James Packard. I always said I would have thrown it off one of his yacht sides, you know what I mean? Like right in front of him, like the real one, not even a wankster one, like the real one. Just throw it off the side to be done with it. Anyway, the ring, they said, is worth $10 million, 35 carats, $10 million. But Mariah unloaded it for $2.1 million. You would think it would have gone for more, right? More than 2.1. I mean, obviously not 10, it's used. But, anyway, good for you, Mariah. So, have you heard about the Sesame Street movie? Well, it's not the Sesame Street movie. It's all gone, and I guess that's why Sesame Street is mad. Okay, well, Sesame Street, the children's show, is suing the producers of Melissa McCarthy's next film. It's called The Happy Time Murders. But you're gonna end up calling it Sesame Street. It's with puppets. The plot of the movie is what the puppets do when they're not on Sesame Street. Like, you know, like their real lives. They're having sex, they're doing coke, they're smoking weed. Yes, yes, yes. Yeah. Yes. This right here, so it says, no Sesame Street, all street. So the Sesame Street people have a problem with this movie, so take a look at only the part of the trailer that I can show you. All right, then we'll talk.
We're gonna catch the bastards who did these murders. Because bodies are gonna start piling up.
You're one of the best damn cops I've ever seen.
I'll have your badge for this. I'm in the FBI.
Oh yeah, what's that stand for? Big idiot?
Cop, where is your dignity? Where's your empathy? Where is your sympathy?
Gets crazy, I'm gonna go crazy.
It's not just the baddest
God, are you all right?
I ruptured my hymen.
It looks like something fun to see. So the people at Sesame Street believe that it's confusing viewers into believing Sesame Street, the children's show, is associated with The Happy Time Murders, the movie. The production company, interestingly enough, who's doing this, this movie, sent their lawyer out to make a statement. And their lawyer is Fred. So the lawyer's name is Fred, and Fred said that Jim Henson's family worked closely in making the film, and it simply tells a story of, or unknown stories of these people behind the scenes. You know, we don't know that. Okay, Jim Henson has 2 children, and the 2 children are working on he's since passed away, Jim Henson, but his daughter and his son are both working on this particular movie, which is a pretty strong leg to stand on. And Jim Henson and his family are the ones that own all the puppets. You know, Sesame Street just like licenses them out or something or another. Sesame Street has a right to be pissed, but don't stop our party. This movie looks funny. So, they're going back to court tomorrow. We'll find out what happens. And the movie doesn't open until August 17th, okay? In the meantime, here, we've got more great show! Up next, the legendary fashion icon, Andre Leon Talley, is here. So grab a snack and come on back. Kim, you know what I would do?